Okay, this is going to be a beginner-oriented video for running on a Supersport, so either a 600, a 1000, or an 1100cc super aggressive inline 4 V4 engine bike. I don't condone this. I'm hoping this video will steer people away from going this direction more so than actually make you want to go that direction. However, I know people are going to do it no matter what, so someone may as well make a beginner tutorial for them because there's just none out there, and that's been consistently my most common feedback. So a couple things here I have put, and I really hope this will show up on camera, and at certain points I'll show exactly what, but I tried with my fantastic artsmanship I put white out here that will show exactly how much throttle movement is happening at any point. I drew 3 because I didn't know where my camera was actually going to show, and I'm not the brightest, so this will be for you to watch how much my throttle moves as I go up this little mountain and point things out. Now, Supersports are the type of bike that I believe are the absolute worst for beginners for numerous reasons. The power as well as the actual ergonomics themselves make them significantly harder. I really don't recommend these things. However, I can't stop you, and someone should help you be a little safer on them if that's the route you decide to go. So, I am up a little mountain road here against a guy who wanted to hit me, I guess. I'm going to go up it, and I'm going to make points. It's a little short route. I'm going to make points and point out little key features on running Twisties and kind of pointing out mistakes and issues and how to fix them as you're going. And then on the way back, I'm just going to run it, and we're going to go a nice steady speed and just kind of show you what it looks like on one of these bikes to go at a safe, legal, healthy speed. So Supersports, right? We have our clip-on handlebars, so they are very low. This is a very aggressive seating position. This is my Gixxer 1000. This is pretty dead standard as far as Supersport ergonomics go. So our first point is going to be we are not going to put our weight on our hands and have locked elbows. Our priority and our goal is we're going to, instead of our elbows out, we're going to pull our elbows in. Think of pulling them in towards the tank. What this does is with your elbows in, you are now controlling this steering with your triceps. If you're up here and your arms are locked, you have way less mobility, but you're also having to use your delts to control this, and it is way harder and you have way less stability versus if you're down here, and I'm not saying to hunch over, but just elbows in, even if you're standing up, and you push with the triceps. Another point on steering is going to be make sure you use both hands. This is a bad habit that a lot of people get into, and it will really come to show later when you start trying to do things a little harder, and it actually really hinders you in slow speed maneuvers and parking lots as well. But if you're turning left, you're going to push left with your left hand. If you're turning right, you're going to push right with your right hand. You're not going to only use your right hand to control your throttle and use your left hand to push left to go left and pull right to go right. Don't do that. Push. I know that's not, you might think that it's better and you have unlocked some kind of special something by using one hand. I promise you it's a hindrance the better you get and the more things you start to kind of unlock with your riding. Now, our next point is going to be, trying not to make fun of my pants, they're the only thing that were clean. We are going to sit nuts to tank on this bike. We are going to sit all the way up. This is the position that allows us to push against the pegs the hardest. It is going to keep our legs in the most stable position against the tank, and it is going to let us be the most planted on the bike. Our goal with anything while we're new and riding on Twisties is to not disrupt the suspension. Our goal is to look as clean and smooth and that suspension to stay as stable as possible. We're not going to shift our weight on the bike. We are going to sit dead center, and we are going to loose arms, and we're just going to cruise. So that's your big points there. No weight on your hands, loose. You're going to hold yourself up with your back, your upper back, lower back, and your abs. You're going to push against the rear peg or against the pegs with your feet and push your actual nuts and legs into that tank so you stay stuck on there. And that's going to be our keys as far as ergonomics go. And nothing I show here does not apply to all bikes. However, one thing that I will note is, and this is common, something that almost everyone says when they come from a Supersport or they come from something else to riding on one of these for the first time, is these bikes take more effort to ride. So when you're leaning, so when you're actually turning, instead of kind of falling in the way that cruisers and nakeds do, these bikes require constant pressure. So instead of just kind of like pushing it a little bit and then just kind of rolling with it, you know, 'cause there's much more feedback from the actual handlebars themselves on Supersports. So you're going to have to aggressively push more with your turning to be able to turn properly. And the other thing there is that with the way these bikes are set up, the short wheelbase, and just the massive tires on them relative to whatever else you may be on, they are going to stick. Whatever line you start on is the line you are going to finish on. It is almost impossible to change your apex without doing some advanced stuff on the bike. So with that in mind, you are going to turn in late. And the saying is, when should you turn in? Late. How late? Later than you think. And that's just true. You're going to turn in late, because what this will do is it will make it where if on a turn, and I'll show this, if you come in early, which is what most people want to do, you're going to come in shallow on that apex, and then you're going to run wide on the outside of that. You could run either on the incoming lane, which you've seen, everyone's seen the fire truck video, or you're going to run wide and go off into a ditch and panic, like all the videos of the guys going on the mountains for the first time and their buddy just kind of goes whee off into the distance. That's something to keep in mind. So you're going to turn in late. These bikes, the way their lines run and the way that they turn is very precise. It is very, very just kind of surgical in feel, I guess you could say, relative to a naked or a cruiser, which kind of lets you stand it up and keep going if you're, you know, going pretty slow and messing around with stuff. These, once you pick a line, you're on that line. You can only widen or shorten from that apex that you've chosen there. So that's something to keep in mind. Yeah, only other thing, and I'm going to cover all the little nooks and crannies here to give you an idea and hopefully make you feel confident. I'm only going to use my front brake and engine braking to scrub speed. I never recommend anyone touch their rear brake on the road when they're new. Unless they see a red light and they are coming to a clean stop, don't touch a rear brake. It's not worth it right now. Now, let's get going up this mountain. I'm parked in an extremely uncomfortable spot. So yeah, let's see. Hopefully my throttle will show exactly while I'm going up. And I'm going to run in first gear this entire time. I'm going to stick around 30 to probably 35 to 40 miles per hour. At least according to my speedometer. That will be about legal speed on this road, which is, it's a posted 25 speed limit road. Speedometers on these bikes are not accurate. Now, here's our first turn, right? Let me make a point. I think there's a better turn coming up here to show this. Hold on one sec. Get up here. And please watch my throttle so you see exactly what this bike looks like. How little effort this takes to go. Yeah, here's a better turn for this. Well, yeah, that's actually a good turn for this. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come into this turn, and don't do what I'm about to do. I'm about to speed into this turn, just as an example. Don't do this. Pretend we're maintenance throttling around this entire mountain, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn in early and watch what it does to where I land. So I'm going to turn in early, get up to speed. Alright, so I'm new on my bike and I turn in early. Right, so now I'm going to come wide out of that. And when you're new, that looked like an easy little save, right? When you're new, all you see is that white line, and oh shit. You want to avoid that as much as possible. You do not want to put yourself in that situation. So here's another one. We'll turn in early. Oh, hold on. Hold on. So I'm gonna find another one here that will show what an early turn in looks like. All right, here we go. I'm gonna turn. There's a truck. Never mind. We are not gonna turn in early. Definitely not gonna turn in early. Ooh, buddy. Excuse me, sir. And there's a car behind me too. Hate that. All right, we're gonna turn in early again right here. All right, and if I turn in early, what? Good Lord! I think the road fell apart last night. So yeah, like that can happen. Turning in early like that puts me in a worse line to where I'm running toward the outside of the road, where apparently the road can just be missing some days. So what you should be doing, and what a late turn in is going to look like on a bike, is I'm not turning. Okay, here's another one. Not turning. Not turning. Not turning. Not turning. And I went and tested this out yesterday. Something to note as well, and I missed this at the beginning. Make sure you are always looking where you're going as far as the turn goes. Always need to be looking where you're going. And what this camera does with the motion, the stabilization turned off. Let me wave this car ahead actually. Hold on one sec. Sorry about that. What it does is when I'm with my head moving, it's going to look like I'm turning earlier than I am. I promise I am not going to start. When I say turning is when I start pushing on that handlebar. So it's kind of an optical illusion there. So just for an idea of how late I'm turning into these, hopefully that'll kind of help. Now we're on the downhill part of this. This is the trickier part for new guys and really anyone who's running down a mountain, is these little downhill quits, right? So I'm gonna come in and turn. Here comes another one and turn. This one's actually much sharper than she looks, isn't she? All right, now a little note about these types of deals right here. This is a hairpin, but this is not a California West Coast canyon clean type of hairpin. This thing is elevation difference between, hopefully, and I know this doesn't show great, but from there to there is massive. And if you look at this road, right, I'm not gonna be able to turn around, park downhill like this. Hold on one sec. Oh, can I do this? Yeah, we're gonna be risking our life here, but we can do it. Come on, neutral. Come on, buddy. It's not gonna do it because of the way I'm sitting on this hill, is it? I'm not gonna be able to find neutral. Hold up. Come on. There it is. Okay, so this road was not designed ever for people to come cutting through it. If you are able to see, which probably not because I did the worst parking job ever, this is not a road that has an embankment on the outside where the road is actually curved up. This road is sloped outward for the rain. So what that means is that you are not like a NASCAR racetrack going up on the road, you are going out. So you are downhill and that road is actually running away from you. This is super dangerous for traffic and extremely dangerous for new riders because they think that this is where they're going to learn their new max lean angle, and this is the absolute worst place on the road to learn your new max lean angle. Uphill or downhill, the elevation change is too much. Now let me catch my breath because I get lost. Ugh. All right, we're back. And there's another hairpin up here at some point. which will also kind of show it. I'll just slowly pass by that one. This is a very slow little turn. Ooh, maybe it is not a slow little turn. Okay, so that would have put me in danger if I had not touched my front brake. Alright, here's a much smoother hairpin. Just crawl through these. Don't push it. These are not worth messing with the lean angle on your bike necessary to pull them off at speed. If you're not, good lord, what's happened to this road? If you're not manipulating your weight, consider that a future endeavor and just crawl through them for now. Okay, so here's a good little turn, right? I'm slowing down, I'm scrubbing speed, and turn. Stay right in the line, and turn. Now I will put a note in here too. I'm kind of known, I'm kind of aggressive with my turn-ins. That's something that I do for whatever reason, and so that will look a little more dramatic than it will with others. Anyway, there is a patch of road that got eaten here, so I gotta make it through this gravel garbage. Alright, and we'll circle back around. And okay, this whole time I should have been pointing this out. My hands have been loose. I have been doing nothing with my body weight other than gripping onto that tank and running. So let me come here. There's never any cars here, but I shouldn't tell you that, so we're gonna go whoop. Alright, I'm just gonna make a nice smooth run through here. I'm gonna try maintenance throttle through everything. I'm gonna stick 35 to 40. And this is what a mountain road looks like on a camera that's not motion blurred and made to look faster than it is, like a lot of people do, or sped up or anything like that. This is going to be a pretty realistic experience of what this will look like to you. Oh, god damn. Didn't dodge that. Alright. 40. Well, let me slow down. And then once I make it to the bottom here, I'll give you some more general tips for twisties and roads, like actual speed limits and stuff, which I find very important for, well, actually, while I'm doing this. As a new rider, while you're riding on these kinds of roads, this one is a kind of extreme example. And late turn-in. I'll just point out my turns here as I go. Anything that warrants it anyway. Speed limits are your best friend as a beginner. Absolute best friend. Good lord. There's another one. There's another one. And make it through here. The safest thing you can do as a new rider, if you're on a road that is windy and slightly dangerous, anything of that sort, is to follow the posted speed limits. And when I say the posted speed limits, I'm talking about the yellow arrows that pop up and turn. And oh, that was a weird little dip hole. Sorry, follow those arrow speeds, right? Turn and run it up and turn. Those are your new best friend. So if a turn coming up, so this is a true back road, mountain road, there's no arrows, you're not going to see a speed limit anywhere but the top or the beginning, where half the time some kid steals it every other week anyway, so there's, you know, I don't even know if it could be legally enforced. If the sheriff in my town watches this, I promise I'm not trying to break your speed limits. But those little arrows are the best indicator you have for actually, oh wait, hold on, we gotta turn and turn. Now we got another one and turn. And notice how I just follow these lines so smoothly. come in, and turn. So if that speed limit comes down to like 20, 25, you are going to come down to 20, 25, right? That's how you should be considering, that's how you should be looking at roads and speed limits as a new rider. And especially on the faster the bike you're on, the more danger you put yourself in by being on it. And those speed limits can really save you. And turn and hairpin. This one's actually not too bad. I could have cut that easy. Oh well. Alright, I got another turn up here. I'll hit one more early if this is the turn I think it is, just to show it. But yeah, seriously, follow those speed limits. Whatever the speed of the road is, whatever the speed the arrows say, follow those speeds. Do it to an exact T. Those speed limits are designed for top heavy trucks to not fall over. You're not a top heavy truck. You can hit that thing way faster, but this will be way safer. All right, and actually I can't even hit that one early. There's one more turn up here that I know I can do a little early cut in. Yeah, so that took me enough. And here's something I've learned trying to do this as well. I cannot talk and ride at the same time, so you're going to see some embarrassing points and turns. Okay, so if I turn in early here, I'm going to hit that bump. All right, yeah, that bump just kind of threw that all off. Never mind. Here, I think down here I can kind of show it on this little dip here. Nope. I'll just go park it. Okay, that was the most painful sentence I've ever tried to get out. What I was trying to say was, those speed limits are your new best friend as the new rider. Follow them to a T. If the speed limit on the road is 45, stick to 45. If you see an upcoming turn and it says to get down to 20 and you think that's lame, too bad. Don't hurt yourself. Get to 20. Make the turn at 20. You are going to build confidence way faster if you actually hit the turn at 20 than if you try and pray it through it at 40 and you happen to make it, or you scrape a peg and scare yourself, or you don't make it, which is the worst case. Let me put my visor up. That's what you don't want to do. That's what you want to avoid. So, and hopefully I'll run it just kind of straight up here for a second to show us again the throttle. I'll make a focus there. I hope my throttle was visible in this to show you exactly how little movement I had in my hand, just keeping that tiny speed I was going, to hopefully give you an idea as well of how not beginner friendly these bikes are and why a lot of people tell you that they're not fun. Is you're moving your wrist. I mean, I'm going this far for most of it, right? Like, it's nothing. So I'll come down, I'll do one more little thing with a focus on here. I'll get to like 50 just to show it and show exactly how much my throttle moves. Yeah, hopefully little tips and tricks will help here. I know that I'm missing a ton of stuff and it's gonna kill me when I think about it, and I know this is a very basic, simple kind of explanation and showing of things. So really your key takeaways here on your new Supersport that you probably shouldn't have bought, or maybe you should have bought but you bought anyway, you're going to turn in later than you think you should. You can practice this if you go up and down the same road, or if you happen to be lucky and have somewhere that has just a singular turn and you can circle back around and do it again and again. Change where you turn in. Just make little markers, put rocks on the side of the road, who cares? Make little markers and figure out what happens when you turn in at which point. See how that goes, see how it feels, see where your bike ends up. That is your key with these late turn-ins and learning how to ride mountain roads and twisty roads, is where your bike ends up and what your actual options are to get out of the scenario you put yourself in are. Next thing is going to be loose hands at all times. I didn't do a great job of this because I talked with one hand for a good bit of it, and I cannot talk and ride. That is something I'm still working on. So I apologize for anything that was just embarrassingly rough back there. But Yeah, and then another thing too is, so we got handlebars, loose hands, elbows kind of tucked like this, push with triceps, not with shoulders. We're going to put our nuts to the tank for the time being. If you want to later down the line start scooching back, have at it. Right now, sit nuts to tank. It is going to be the most stable, and it is going to keep your weight centered on the bike like it was designed to be, and it's also going to give you the most leverage to push off those pegs. So hopefully this helps someone. I'm gonna run it real quick just to show one more time, because this one really, I didn't have a gauge last time to show it, and people really like seeing this. So I'll just get it up to about 50 here. Alright, notice my throttle. Throttle and speed, throttle and speed. Right? It's not much. It's not much throttle on these things to really get moving. So I hope that helps someone. Please be careful with your bike purchase. Again, I don't recommend these. I really don't recommend these to beginners, but I'm not your dad. I'm not your mom. I don't care. Do whatever you want. Just please be smart about it. Any questions, please ask me. Hopefully I help someone. Thank you.